Roommate saw me riding a toy, said he'd be a better ride. This happened a while ago before I moved. I had a handful of roommates of various genders, and everyone was, well, a cheeky bunch. It was not uncommon to see someone dragging a stranger home from a bar, so when I messed around with myself, I wasn't exactly quiet about it. I was bouncing on my toy, trying to reach that spot inside of me that made me go crazy, but it was always so difficult by myself. Frustrated, I tried harder, shaking my bed and sounding like crazy until my door opened. One of my male roommates was standing there in his boxers, and his eyes watched me, completely without clothes with a toy buried in my kitty. Having trouble? He asked. I pouted, not wanting to admit that yes, I in fact was having a lot of trouble. He smiled, reading my expression, and closed the door behind him. He came to my bed and sat beside me. I know a much better DE you can bounce. Immediately, I was soaked with thirst. I slid the toy out of me, and he pushed down his boxers, revealing a giant beating D. He took my hips in his hands and set me on his lap. His D pressed against my kitty, and then as he eased me down, he pushed inside of me. The difference was instantly recognizable. A toy can do a lot, but there is nothing like a flesh and blood D to bounce. He hit me down on his D until I felt his marbles against my cake cheeks. He gripped my cake in both hands and started to lift me up and drop me onto his D, tapping his D inside of me over and over. I clung to his shoulders, sounding in pure ecstasy. He hit that spot deep inside of me that I could never reach, and his face, slack-jawed as he stared up at me, wasn't hurting either. He leaned forward, sipping a melon into his mouth as I bounced him, bouncing on his D even as my knees began to ache. I didn't care. I wanted my satisfaction. Then he grabbed me and flipped us over, pushing my back into the sheets. His feet were still on the floor, giving him leverage as he hit into me. My legs were wrapped over his shoulders, my fingers balled up the sheets, and I threw my head back, screaming his name as he pushed me to the absolute limit. I dissolved into tremors and shakes as I came on his D, collapsing to the bed, completely exhausted. He still kept going, hitting into me while kissing the side of my throat until finally he nutted. I felt the warmth inside me as he nutted in me raw, and I didn't regret it. It felt good to be used and pleasured by him, and I wanted more. How could I ever go back to toys when I had him at my place all the time? Just call me, he said as he pulled out. The next time you need to bounce a real D.